Hello there, welcome to Just the Discs. We talk about Blu-rays here. And today I'm going to talk about some Vinegar Syndrome Partner label stuff. I'm going to start with Canadian International Pictures, but before I do that, because there's similar folks involved in Arbalos and CIP, I'm going to talk about this new Arbalos Blu-ray of 2/Duo. This is a beautiful. I do love. Arbalos is the only game in town for this kind of envelope packaging, which I really love. You sort of tuck it in the back there, and it's just really nicely done. You can get these from Arbalos Films shop online. I don't think you can get them anywhere else. I think they're exclusive to that. But they always include some fun stuff inside the package. You tend to get an Arbalos sticker, and they do great work, by the way, if that's not fully clear. And you get like a postcard, and I haven't had a chance to check out the movie yet. I'm pretty sure that this ties right into it, the air freshener, car freshener thing. So yeah, so this comes with a nice booklet. Arbalos is a really nice, solid company that does not get enough press, as far as I'm concerned. So I do need to pump them up a little bit, because I really like what they do. I like the films they pick. Again, this is one I'm not familiar with, but they always do. Their release of Chameleon Street a year or so back is one of my favorite releases, especially of that film. It was so nice to see that get a good release. Anyway, a cash-strapped aspiring actor, and that's Drive My Car, is Hidetoshi Nishijima. And you, a junior employee at a high-end clothing store, Ari Yu, are a couple living a mannered domestic life, but just beneath the surface of their relationship, a slow dance of high-stakes affection and alienation is nearing a breaking point. An underseen masterstroke of 90s Japanese cinema, Nobuhiro Suwa's breakout film 2/Duo has been newly remastered under the supervision of Suwa and cinematographer Masaki Tamura. Yeah, so this I don't really. I'm intrigued by just the shot that they picked to put on the cover. Like, I don't know what to expect from this, and I know it's going to be interesting because it's Arbalos. I'm actually just going to read if there's anything. So Jonathan Rosenbaum they got for the essay, which is, that's heavy hitter stuff. One of the most striking attributes of experimental art is the way it commonly forces us to rethink certain basics that we normally take for granted. And Nobuhiro Suwa's 2/Duo, the filmmaker's first foray into fiction after making several TV documentaries, the vicissitudes of a young couple trying to live together, an unsuccessful actor, and a boutique shop assistant are so unfixed that even so seemingly a simple matter as what causes their rifts isn't clearly spelled out. Their scenes together are vivid and sometimes violent, but seldom legible in terms we normally accept from narrative fiction. In an early scene, Kay suddenly proposes marriage to you, and she seems too startled by his suggestion to respond. In a subsequent scene, an off-screen interviewer asks her character why she didn't respond, and she promises to ask Kay why he proposed to her. I'm not going to go any further than that, because I think I'm already getting a sense of what this is, and I'm intrigued by it. But I do love that they got Rosenbaum for that. So, really nice features here. Limited edition slipcase featuring a die-cut design, which I showed you before. Limited edition bonus item, 2 shaped car freshener. New HD remaster supervised by director Nobuhiro and cinematographer Masako Tamura. New video interview with director Nobuhiro Suwa. Hanasaruru Gang, 1984, Suwa's feature-length student film. That's exciting. That's included as an extra. Friends, 1986, a silent short by Suwa. and A Letter from Hiroshima, 2002, short film commissioned by the Jeonju International Film Festival. Adventures of a Red Ball Workshop, 2019, short introductory film about the Children Meet Cinema initiative. Forward by filmmaker Pedro Costa, and new essay, Two to Tango, by Jonathan Rosenbaum in the 16-page booklet. This is a limited edition run of 500, so not a lot of these out there. Definitely pick this up if you're interested. It's a beautiful presentation, and as I said, I'm very intrigued to see the film itself. But hats off to Arbelos for continuing to do great work and for continuing to put out these beautiful envelope packages. So this is what we're talking about today. We have a bunch of stuff from the Vinegar Syndrome Partner labels. I've doubled up on AGFA and Enjoy the Ride, and we've got a decanalog and some Saturn score in there. So let's get into this. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to start with Canadian International Pictures because they are one of my favorite of the partner labels, and they really do outstanding work. So this film is called Abducted. It's from 1986, and it's during a casual run in the forest, student-athlete Renee, the Dead Zone's Roberta Weiss, is unceremoniously interrupted by deranged mountain man Vern, Rolling Vengeance's Lawrence King Phillips, who ties a rope around her neck, drags her through the woods, and brings her to an isolated cabin. As helicopters search the area, Vern torments Renee with a series of terrifying and humiliating violations, but a glimmer of hope appears when his father, Joe, elf star Dan Haggerty, arrives on the scene and pledges to set her free. But Vern is incensed by the attack on his, quote, property, and he will stop at nothing to maintain his oppressive grip on Renee. Written and directed by Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker co-writer Boone Collins, and loosely inspired by a shocking true story, this USA Up All Night favorite takes a harrowing journey from psychosexual horror to high-stakes adventure yarn with the introduction of Grizzly Adams himself, Dan Haggerty, intensely outre from beginning to end. This little scene mindbender, shot by Robert McLaughlin, Final Destination, and scored by Michael Rubini, Manhunter, needs to be seen to be believed. So this sounds like, I like the variety of stuff that they do, but I have a sense that maybe there's some Vinegar Syndrome hardcores that don't dip their toe in the water because it's not genre enough. That's just a guess. This sounds genre enough for you guys to check out if you're holding back. Newly scanned and restored in 2K from 35mm blow-up internegative by Canadian International Pictures. Alternate 1:3:1 presentation featuring the unmasked VHS framing of the film. New audio commentary featuring film historian author Amanda Reyes, one of my favorites, and film critic author J.A. Kurzweil. New introduction to the film by director Boone Collins, Abducted Memories. That's a new interview with Collins that's 24 minutes long. Beyond Abducted, 2024, 12 minutes. Collins reflects on his body of work. Shooting Abducted, 2024, 13 minutes. New interview with cinematographer Robert McLaughlin. Truth Crimes, the story that inspired Abducted. 18-minute new video essay by filmmaker and film historian Stephen Broomer. Excerpt from Abducted 2, The Reunion, 1995, 10 minutes. I did not know there was an Abducted 2. Excerpt from Collins' student film, Kettle of Fish, 1972, 5 minutes, with optional commentary featuring Collins. Trailers for Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker, Abducted, and Abducted 2, The Reunion, with optional commentary by Collins. Booklet featuring a new essay by Alexandra Heller Nicholas. All right. And a new motion picture Purgatory comic strip by Rick Trembles. And it also has reversible cover art, which actually I might swap out. Because, this is cool, but this feels more like the video cover that you saw back in the day and were like, oh yeah, I want to rent that thing tonight, whatever that is. But very cool to have Alexandra Heller Nicholas and Amanda Reyes on the same release, in commentary and essay form. Two of my favorite commentators, film scholars, they're just wonderful at what they do, and blow me away with their insights. So I should have probably led with that. That'll get more people interested in this. But very cool. I'm very excited to check out all the features, the movie, the essay. There's a bloody Dan Haggerty. Yeah, this is good. This is going to be good. And here's some of that comic strip. So great stuff from Canadian International Pictures. That sounds like a genre winner, as it were. Okay. Next up, we have one release from Utopia, and this one I'm definitely excited to check out. This is another one. I talk about Elric a lot here, but he and I are close friends, and I get a lot of recommendations from him, especially for new horror films, and this is Red Rooms from this year. And I think he said, if I'm remembering correctly, I may be misquoting, but I think he said this might have been his favorite horror film of the year, Red Rooms. And I believe it's a French film with English subtitles. This is from Utopia. Love the quote on the top here from Mashable. Out Fincher's Fincher. Kellyanne wakes up every morning by the courthouse to secure a seat at the high-profile trial of Ludovic Chevalier, a serial killer she is obsessed with. As days go by, the young woman bonds with another friendly groupie, which momentarily breaks her out of her loneliness. But as the proceedings drag on and she spends more and more time in the courtroom with the victims' families, Kellyanne finds it increasingly difficult to maintain her psychological balance and assume her morbid fixation with the killer. She will do whatever it takes to get her hands on the final piece of the puzzle, the missing video of a murdered 13-year-old girl to whom Kellyanne bears a disturbing resemblance. So this does sound intriguing. 118 minutes. Region A. Audio commentary with director Pascal Plante. Audio commentary with filmmaker, film historian Alex West. Live show at the Rivière du Loup in Quebec with Red Rooms composer Dominique Plante. Deleted behind-the-scenes featurette and booklet essay by Jordan Searles. So yeah, I do like it when these partner labels sometimes put out new releases that I missed, and I'm definitely going to check this one out. Maybe over the holidays. But again, high recommendation from Elric Kane. If you're into his stuff, what he likes, a lot of people are. I am. Check out Red Rooms. Okay, a couple from AGFA here. We'll start with the December appropriate Santa Claus Conquers the Martians and Other Holiday Hallucinations. Excuse me. And this is this combination AGFA Something Weird release, which is always a good sign. And yeah, this looks like pretty crazy stuff. So AGFA does great releases. This is an all-region disc. 282 minutes, and I'll get into what all is on here of stuff on this disc. Walking in a Winter Weirdland, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians and Other Holiday Hallucinations is a blizzard of mid-century kitsch that will make your holiday dreams come true, especially if you're a Martian. Preserved from Something Weird's colorful 16mm print and presented in a brand new Roadshow edition with ads and trailers, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians from 1964 is the infamous ultra-cheap Mindbender starring young Pia Zadora that follows the kidnappings of Santa and two Earth children by Martians. From there, our visit to the North Pole continues with Santa Claus Conquers the Drive-In, 60 minutes of snipes and trailers, and over 2 hours of delirious shorts. So, that is cool. So you've got like kind of a trailer show here. Santa Claus Conquers the Drive-In, 60 minutes, preserved from the original Something Weird SVHS masters, shorts preserved from the Something Weird SVHS masters. A Christmas Dream, A Christmas Fantasy, Christmas in Toyland, Christmas Journey, Christmas Tree, The Christmas Visitor, The Liberace Christmas Special, Merry Christmas, The Night Before Christmas, A Present for Santa Claus, Santa in Animal Land, The Spirit of Christmas, A Visit from St. Nicholas, A Visit to Santa, And there's insert with writing by Something Weird's Lisa Petrucci as well. So this sounds like a great holiday gift, folks. You have a cinephile in your life that likes weird movies. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians is one of those that you always hear mentioned alongside things like Plan 9 from Outer Space. And I've never seen it. Always meant to see it. And now I have no excuse, and I am definitely going to check it out via this wonderful AGFA Blu-ray. Good stuff. Another one from AGFA we have here, the Cult of AGFA trailer show, which can only be fascinating and can only be a gateway to a bunch of other cool, weird movies. Directed by Brett Berg and Joseph A. Ziemba, two of the gurus behind AGFA. So this, there's nothing dreamier than the moment when the lights go down and the show begins. Now imagine capturing that feeling for 77 minutes of concentrated bliss. Exploding from the vaults of the American genre film archives, the Cult of AGFA trailer show is the surreal sequel to the AGFA horror trailer show, meticulously constructed by the mad ghouls at AGFA to resemble an otherworldly night at a mall multiplex. This compilation features rare trailers, commercials, and ephemera, all of which were preserved and scanned exclusively for this project. And it's all presented via a newly struck 35 millimeter theatrical film print of the show. Plus, the fun continues with a commentary track from the AGFA team, hallucinogenic shorts, and uncut versions of every trailer in the mixtape. That is really cool. Uncut versions of everything. In case you're like, what was that? You can go and see the full trailer. So yeah, that's really cool that they took it from their own newly struck 35 print. Commentary with the AGFA team, uncut versions of all trailers, rated R by AGFA's Brett Berg, short, The Day the Earth Got Free, and Richard Pryor's photos by AGFA's Ivan Paychev, and another short, Just When You Thought It Was Safe. So this is just packed with stuff. I can't wait to check this out. I love this kind of thing that you could put on at a family gathering, like Christmas, and just kind of like let it play and see if it, weirds anybody out. Obviously, there's a certain kind of friend group that would be really into this, but I actually kind of like to do this sort of thing with unsuspecting victims. So this is great. I love that they did this, and I'm sure it's going to blow my mind just based on those little stills in the front. Yay, AGFA. Okay, from Enjoy the Ride Media, we have a couple documentaries. We have I Am Santa Claus. This one here is from 2014. Everyone thinks of Santa Claus as a magical figure without flaws, but men who keep his legend alive, real bearded professional Santas, are nothing like the jolly Saint Nick's we've all grown up knowing. In reality, the mall Santa in your cherished children's photo has problems just like the rest of us. Even the jolliest of men fall victim to divorce, job loss, insecurity, and even the occasional hangover. I Am Santa Claus is a documentary that follows the lives of 4 real bearded professional Santa Clauses and one notable aspiring Santa as they anticipate and prepare the coming holiday season, while showing them for what they actually are, flawed flesh and blood men who feel an overbearing responsibility to protect the integrity of the spotless, untarnished reputation of the red suit. A documentary of the entire year in the lives of 5 real bearded Santas. So it's a year in the lives of these guys. That sounds fascinating to me. This is all region audio commentary from the director Mick Foley, who's also in the movie. Director Ann Mick Foley, who's one of the Santas, the new Santa. New interviews with the Santas, film threat, watch party, extended and deleted scenes, new Mick Foley content, behind the scenes, and never before seen footage of the Santas. So that sounds like my jam. That sounds like a doc that I'm totally into. I love that sort of slice of life, behind the scenes sort of doc. Okay, another one from Enjoy the Ride. We have Power of Grayskull, the definitive history of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. This is from 2018. In the early 1980s, He-Man arrived on the scene and hit the world with a punch as powerful as the character himself. Designed in the wake of Conan the Barbarian and under the shadow of Star Wars, He-Man's surprising popularity spawned a multi-billion-dollar empire that included toys, comic books, cartoons, live-action movies, and a literal sister spin-off show, She-Ra, and continues to appeal to a ravenous fan base today. Watch as artists, creators, and collaborators dig deep, tell tales, and share surprising developments of an unlikely, unparalleled pop culture success in this definitive history of He-Man and the Master of the Universe. Do you have the power? Sorry, I got a little carried away there with that reading. So, bonus features, behind the scenes look at the making of Power of Grayskull, the story of She-Ra featurette, time-lapse painting of our movie poster, deleted scenes, Mattel reboots, comics, filmation, extended interviews with Ted Mayer, Justin Marks, Popmon, Charles Zambilis, Mark Taylor, Mike Barbado, Martin Ariola, extended segments, 1987 movie, Super Collector Toy Room Tour, Williams Start Archive Tour, For the Fans featurette. Very cool stuff. This is an all-region disc for fans of that wonderful cartoon series. Okay, moving on to a new one from Decanalog. I would recommend, if you missed it, go back and look at my interview with Casper Kelly talking about Adult Swim Yule Log from Decanalog. A great Blu-ray and a great interview with a really cool, funny guy with a great taste in film. And at least go back, if nothing else, at least go back and watch and listen to his 3 films he watched as a kid. I think you should watch the whole thing because I think the whole thing is great. But hearing the 3 films he watched as a kid, I just loved it. But what a great guy. And I just love more people to see that interview. So go back and check out the Casper Kelly interview I did. So this is Dude Bro Massacre 3 from the... I love they have Broterian collection at the bottom. So I don't know much about this one, I'll be honest. A satirical twist on the gory and sexually charged 80s slasher genre, Dude Bro Party Massacre 3 is presented as the only surviving VHS copy of the reviled horror franchise's 3rd and final installment. In the wake of 2 back-to-back mass murders on Chico's frat row, loner Brent Chirino must infiltrate the ranks of popular fraternity to investigate his twin brother's murder at the hands of the serial killer known as Motherface. As they are picked off one by one, Brent and his fellow dude bros must face the terrifying reality that their deadly foe, believed to have been killed twice, has returned from the grave again and is hellbent on the destruction of the Delta Buys. Quotes are like a hysterical barrage of WTF, brilliant from Fangoria, and instant cult classic from IndieWire. It does look entertaining. Disc 1, this is a 2-disc set. Cast audio commentary, filmmakers audio commentary features. Disc 2 features It Came From the Internet, the making of Dude Bro Massacre 3, trailers, deleted scenes, 5-second films, supercut, gag reels, storyboard to scene comparisons, dead meat, kill count, and more. This is a Region A locked double disc set from Decanalog. They are really breaking out into some fascinating... between this release and Yule Log, they are doing a lot of interesting... I mean, they were already all over the place in terms of art films and documentaries and just really interesting, intriguing films. But this one I got to check out. Dude Bro Massacre 3. Okay, real quick, a couple from the good folks at Saturn's Core. We have Fatal Delusion from 1990. Nope, I don't know. I cannot tell when this is from, but it looks 80s or 90s to me. Deranged Vietnam vet David Cates suffers from flashbacks of the atrocities that he endured during the war, savagely murdering and mutilating innocent brunette women who resemble the enemy major who tortured his brigade. Shortly after being captured and imprisoned for his crimes, Cates escapes from prison, murders his vacationing jailhouse shrink, and assumes his identity, now masquerading as a psychologist. Cates infiltrates the police department and offers his assistance in helping to capture the escaped serial killer who's dismembering local women. Unfortunately for the police, the doctor they're collaborating with is the actual lunatic they're in the search of, and his delusion means death for everyone. A gory, mean-spirited SOV shot-on-video slasher epic from New Jersey's custom movie purveyors Wave Productions. Definitely check out that Wave documentary that they put out at the beginning of their tenure as a label. That's a fascinating and wonderful documentary. Fatal Delusion marked the first ever on-screen performances from legendary scream queens Tina Krause, Deanna Demko, plus supporting appearances by Laura Giglio, Dawn Murphy, Clancy McCauley, and Michelle Caparelletti. Notable for featuring murder scenes shot in the hallways and courtyards of New Jersey's Chiller Theater and Baltimore's FanX conventions back in 1994. Okay, there you go. The year. Fatal Delusion presents a staggering analog panorama of bathtub autopsies, chainsaw disembowelings, incessant shower scenes, puffy neon fashions, and entrail toilet flushing. Okay. New transfer from the SVHS master tapes, audio commentary with Wave founder Gary Whitson and actress Laura Giglio, moderated by Ross Snyder of Saturn Score. Audio commentary by Richard Mogg, author of Analog Nightmares, shot on video horror films of 1982 to 1995. No Delusions, a new interview with actress Deanna Demko. Extended Tina Krause death sequence, early 1994. Archival interview and actress Tina Krause discussing The Shrink, which later became Fatal Delusion. Bonus movie, Virgin Sacrifices from 1996, Gary Whitson's demonic sacrifices and mud wrestling epic, featuring Fatal Delusion stars Tina Krause, Deanna Demko, Laura Giglio, Dawn Murphy, and Sal Longo. That's 90 minutes long. Full movie included with this. The Hypnotic Spy, 1997, a custom spy short starring Tina Krause, Deanna Demko, and Dawn Murphy. Let's see here. Archival Tina Krause hairbrushing custom short, reversible custom sleeve, photography by Michael Inox. 133-1 all region. That is Fatal Delusion. And lastly, we have Gut Pile. Watch your step. Gut Pile. Wow. Another one I'm not 100% sure of the year, but we'll get there. While on a solo hunting expedition, Dan accidentally shoots and kills a fellow hunter with no one in sight, miles aside from a lifeless scarecrow. He buries the hunter deep in the woods to conceal his misdeed. 1 year later, Dan returns to the cabin with his buddies for a weekend of hunting and partying. Unfortunately for his oblivious friends, an evil entity in the form of an axe-wielding scarecrow promptly returns for vengeance upon their arrival. After finding his companions dismembered, disemboweled, and displayed like hapless trophies, Dan must survive until dawn in a frantic fight for both his life and sanity. In 1998, there we go, Syracuse, New York-based filmmaker Jerry L. Sullivan combined the concepts from two of his early Super 8 shorts to create an eminently exciting and entertaining Evil Dead-inspired shot-on-video killer scarecrow romp, starring fellow Syracuse micro-budget filmmakers Ron Bonk and Jeff Forsythe, alongside the inimitable indie legend Sasha Graham. Gut Pile triumphs with its impressive practical splatter effects and mind-boggling Raimi-inspired camera gymnastics. Saturn Score is proud to present Gut Pile, newly restored and jam-packed with a veritable trophy wall of new and archival special features, including, for the first time ever, these Super 8 short films that helped inspire its creation. Very cool. New audio commentary featuring writer-director Jerry O'Sullivan, actors Ron Bonk, Ed Maston, and Jeff Forsythe. Spilling Guts, an interview with writer-director Jerry O'Sullivan. Analog Diva, an interview with actress Sasha Graham. Haunting Season, an interview with actor Jeff Forsythe. All Within the Family, and a roundtable chat with Director Jerry O'Sullivan and actors Ron Bonk and Ed Maston, moderated by actor Jeff Forsythe. Make It Gross, an interview with special effects artist Jeff Mayer. Gut Pile behind the scenes archival featurette. The Axe, 1979, Jerry O'Sullivan's early Super 8 short that inspired Gut Pile, along with The Scarecrow, 1980, Jerry O'Sullivan's other early Super 8 short that inspired Gut Pile, plus a reversible sleeve. Sounds fascinating. The killer scarecrow genre, I kind of never get sick of it. Kind of always fun in some way. So that's Gut Pile. So that'll do it for this round of a little update on the Vinegar Syndrome Partner label releases. Hopefully you had a good time with their Black Friday sale by the time this posts. Definitely let me know what you picked up from that, as I'm sure I'll pick up a few things myself. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.